Namaste, beloveds. This is Valerie Ames, aka Mother Wit, aka Tia Ma'at, and I am enjoying this morning. It is 10:02, and you see how dark it is here. The fall has truly come. Winter is on its way, and we must prepare, those of us who are in the northern hemisphere, for less light. And let me just, there we go. Um, I'll quiet this down a little bit. And it doesn't want to quiet down. Okay. Batteries. There we go. And I'm just going to leave it faintly playing um, in the background. And beloveds, I just want to welcome you. And if you're wondering what this, I've got the candle right here, just because I'm loving the way it smells, and I'm loving the warmth, and I'm loving the glow that it gives. And all of this is necessary for me right now in this now moment. Um, it's that fire energy, it's the fire element. Um, Excuse me for fidgeting. I'm getting myself grounded. Um, this is a very, and I know I say this each video, but this is a very powerful, I'll put it that way. This is so powerful that I am still wrapping my head around it, but I know that I need to share it um, because it is so raw, and it is so powerful, and it is so full of wisdom at this time for the collective. So I'm just going to um, lay it on the table, babe. Spread it out, put it on the table, and it's a feast for the souls that are able to consume it. And take what's for you. If there's something on the table that don't agree with your taste buds, pass it by and leave it for the rest. And that is how this table is being spread. The blessings have been said over it. The offerings are yours. The libations are yours to partake of as you see fit. And it's been prepared and provided for you through unconditional love. So it is what it is, beloveds, and let's just get into it. 339. 339. Um, I am going to give the oracle part of this, and then I'll get into the confirmations through the cards, um, as I have been doing for the last couple of times, um, as I've been directed to do. Um, this particular video, I didn't do notes, but I will keep grounding myself and bringing myself back. And I'm understanding that it's easier when I have notes. So I'm focused on that. That has been seated. That has been seated very well. Okay, this show is about contrast and competition, and understanding the need for them, um, and what they bring to the table, what they offer, why each exists in this now moment and why each is relevant. And each helps you to use your discernment. That is the reason for competition at this time. I went in and I asked, why? Why? And competition is part of our evolution at the moment. That is why we are so engaged. That is why we are identifying the competition as being tribal, as we're identifying the makings and the markings of it. And when you're doing this, beloveds, it means you have ascended to a certain point where you're now looking at competition in a way that you're trying to find balance within it. You're now looking at it, at competition, from a ascended place, from a higher perspective, from a higher knowing, from a more mature place within yourself. And that is, you are aligned. You are right where you need to be. Everybody is doing the best that we can with the roles that we contracted before we came. And before we came, we had the knowledge that there is no good and bad. There is no good and evil. There is only balance. And in selecting a part to play, one was not wrong and the other was not right. The highest self, the most mature self that dwells around, within, above, below, inside us, knows this, knows this. At our core, we know it. We have tried to use competition. In the earliest of days, in the most ancient of times, competition had its place. It was honored. It was valued. It was pursued with integrity, honesty. It was not a measure of worth or value as a person, as a being. It was a test of the skills that you had mastered in mastering yourself. It was competition was an expression of your growth. And in that growth, one was more prepared, willing to go, stronger in will, stronger in connection to the divine. That's how that was looked upon. And those ones who were able to demonstrate divine harmony or divine balance in their abilities or in their skill set, these were the ones who were put in leadership positions because they had mastered those skill sets. And thus they were seen fit and deserving to be put in a role where they could teach, where they could show, where they could be the example. of what they themselves had mastered, whether that was judgment, whether it was architecture, whether it was loving, making love, whether it was cooking, whether it was knowing the arts, whether it was the ability to connect with spirit. All of these were valued. And what we have now perceive as competition and as pitting one against the other was not viewed that way in ancient times. In ancient times, all, all were encouraged, and those that rose to the leadership were honored. But what began to happen is what we see now. Not the fruitage of the Spirit, but the opposite thereof began to grow in some, not all, in some. And that envy, those desires, that jealousy, that wanting to beat someone, wanting to shame someone, needing to be better because you feel less than, because you did not, weren't chosen. All of this is coming up today for infinite, intelligent reasons. It is by design. And you have a part and a place in this design. Everything that is taking place is for your benefit as a species, as a race, as beings of the divine, as divine children. But you have to know yourself. You have to know, and you have to, excuse me, recognize what's going on. Hold on just a second. Hey, beloved, I'm doing a video right now. I'll call you back. Is everything okay? Do you need me to stop it? I'll call you back, baby. All right. Bye-bye. Sorry, let me just reground myself. I'm feeling so much, beloveds, and I want you to know that a lot of you are experiencing things at such a heightened frequency right now, okay? And I want you to know that you can handle it. You can handle it. You're strong enough. You're not alone. You're not going through this alone. Just because you cannot see everybody or feel everybody, there are those of us that can. And there are those of us that do. And there are those of us that will. And we will continue. Because we have no other way of being. everything that is happening is not to show you how immature you are. It's not to punish you. It's not to make fun of you. It's not to laugh at you. It's to show you how beautiful your vulnerability is. It's to show you how precious your innocence is. How beautiful it is to the divine. Your innocence, is what makes you shine. It's what causes the glow. What we know, what we connect, what other words we connect with the word innocence, was created. Okay. Was created in the flames, was created in the fire, was forged. Innocence is your greatest strength. That's why it's the first thing that is attacked, that this world tries to change, this matrix, that it tries to rob you of, that it tries to steal from you, that it rapes out of you, that it beats out of you, that it makes fun out of you, that it breaks your heart out of you. But I'm here to tell you, we are immortal. Our hearts regenerate when we know who we are. Our hearts resurrects itself each time a death takes place, be it a physical manifested death, be it a spiritual manifested death, be it a energetic death. There there's so much to you that we don't even use all of ourselves at this particular time in our evolutionary process. I want you to know that. I want you to understand the grace that you have been gifted with to learn who you are. Do not let this contrast, this competition, those that think they are in control, know who you are. Continue to be who you are. Continue to speak who you are. Continue to fight for who you are, for who you know yourself to be, for the future that you want to give birth to, that you know needs to be birthed into existence. May we continue to have the patience, the open-heartedness, the willingness to ascend, to grow, to mature. May we learn to judge ourselves harshly, less and less, as each day passes, as each moment passes. Whenever we fall, may we pick ourselves up gently and lovingly and tell our legs, good work, good work. Thank you, leg muscles. We are going to keep using you. We need you. We love you. We appreciate you. We are thankful for your design. We honor you by practicing, standing, walking, running. We honor the wisdom of having legs by doing these things. Sorry. Um, Contrast. 2121. Wow. um, okay. Contrast. I want you to think about, we live in a modern age. Many of you know what ultrasounds look like. Many of you know um, what are they called? Um, when the babies get, I can't, ultrasounds. Thank you, mama. Oh, that's a download, baby. Ultrasounds shows you the contrast of, in all that fluid and all that liquid and all, you see the life there. That life is bothered by the ultrasonic frequencies that are invading that womb to show you the contrast, to show you the picture, to show you the image, to show you the health, to show you the sex of that child. It is the same. It is the same, beloveds. Ultrasound, sonic frequency, sonic vibrations. If the earth is a womb and we are inside that womb, just as the fetus is inside of the mother's womb, all this competition, all this contrast, it does what? It influences us even before we're born. We are who we are inside the womb. And that is only nurtured or destroyed. It is only nurtured or destroyed. I have shared with you my, I guess my life's journey and how um, how I was raised, how I ascended to this point, what was on and who helped me get to this point. And I shared, for the longest time, I thought my mother was this crazed being, that she just was this broken person. And now, as I am fully coming into myself and looking more on the contrasts and the competitions that I see taking place before me in this now moment, I'm realizing, like I said, with the revelation that My mother was preparing me for this world. She knew. She knew. She knew. She didn't say, but she knew. And I got that if she had have said, I would not be who I am right now. But I am also understanding the depth of love, the depth of self-knowing, the times that she was put away were the times that she needed to rest, to ground herself, to still her mind, to be still, because she felt everything. She didn't know how to put it into words. She didn't know how to explain it. But she had a connection that many have. The old ones say you don't mess with those that are what they call simple. The simpleness is their connection to the divine. They don't have the filters. They don't have the blocks. They don't have the shame with talking to spirits out loud in front of anybody or at random as it may seem to somebody else. They traverse the multiverses. It is not weird. It is just contrast. It is just competition because they have achieved something we have not. And we look at them as, you're simple. You will never achieve what you need to in this matrix system because you're simple. And they tell us, you will never achieve what you need to achieve in the spiritual realm because you're simple, you're immature. You think your matrix world is real. You think that is your reality. You don't even realize you're empowering it. That's how lost and deep you are in it. The illusion is the separation. The illusion is the detachment. The illusion is pointing and putting the blame on something outside of yourself. I am in competition with no one. No one. I am interested in being the best that I can be, the best spiritual being that I can be inside this human flesh, this vehicle that allows my spirit to move, to feel, to see, to think, to know in a physical way. But I am also present as my authentic self. And that is the alignment. And that is the knowing that we have to reach, beloveds. And this has been 30 minutes. Wow. Okay, that's been the 30 minutes that I'm going to spend on the contrast and the competition portion of um, of this. And again, I apologize for the um, the lighting. It is what it is. Like I said, it's early morning, but it's the seasons, beloveds. Um, and this, what I've been getting, excuse me, what I've been getting is this season will be extra hard on many of us because many of us are being triggered. We're being triggered so that we can awaken, so that we can find the balance. We are being things that we have buried, so to speak, in our psyches are now resurrecting themselves. Whoa, okay, resurrecting themselves, okay? Things that we had buried, truths that we had buried, things that we did not want to see, things that we did not want to feel, things that we did not want to admit. It's rising. And as it rises, beloveds, empower yourself with it because that is what it is rising for. It's not rising to shame you. It's not rising to break you. It's not rising to kill you. It's rising to better you. It's rising to feed you, to fuel you. It is the fire. It is the compost. It is the heroes gamos. It is the sacred union. Okay? Um, and I'm just going to go forth with the cards now to let them give you what they need to give you. I have consecrated or prayed over them and opened them up. Um, all of the cards have not been, no cards have been taken from them, except for these two in the Medicine Woman deck. And as I was shuffling and getting them the decks ready, these two cards came out, and there was such strong energy with them that I knew they are the ones that needed to be um, shared, so to speak. And I was only going to pull one from each one um, of these decks, but it is what it is, beloveds. And 3322, 3322, 5. Okay, let's begin, beloveds. The first card is the number 12, and it is the Hanged Man in the traditional tarot deck. Again, this is the Hanged Man card in the traditional tarot deck. And as I said, these cards presented themselves as I was getting everything ready. Okay. This is the Vision card in this deck. And again, this is the Medicine Woman deck. This is the deck I'm going to be teaching from as I get things prepared. And I'm understanding that this will be late October or mid-October that I will be announcing that I'm ready to start doing these things. I also want to say that when I was speaking of my mother earlier, this is the month my mother passed. My mother passed on October 3rd, and each October I am affected, influenced by the memories. I'm touched, I'm transported, however you want to say that. But this particular year is so different. And it's different from, based on, like I said, the revelations that I'm getting. And this year, there is not the, excuse me, there's not the sense of abandonment. There's not the sense of, you hurt me and you were my mom. That's not here. What is present is, thank you for loving me enough to prepare me for what must take place with our lineage. That as way shores, we have to be present. And we cannot let our feelings whoop our ass, so to speak. So, let's get it together. Let's make it do what it do, baby. Ancestors say, they say, it's time to get ready to give birth to Jubilee, baby. Stand up for it. If you want it, you got to work for it. Ain't nothing in this world free. If it is, you don't appreciate it. That's shown by the messengers. The messengers give you the message freely. And how do you greet them? How do you treat them? How do you reward them? How do you show them love? Because they were born loving you. They were born knowing that they would have to protect you. And they were born knowing that they must stay in the state of unconditional love, even when they are angry, even when their heart has been broken, even when they are so fragmented, they can't even imagine themselves to be whole. They don't know what it looks like. And when they see it, they don't recognize it as foreign to them, and they want to fight it. Hear me. Hear me. Understand why you do the things that you do. I looked at the Global Citizens Festival. All the effort, all the energy, all the blood, sweat, and tears, all the pain and suffering, all the joy, all the hope, all the love that went into presenting and showing that birth, because it was a birth. It was. But the labor and delivery was not appreciated. The child itself that was born was considered ugly, different. Why? Because we are at a place in our evolution where we're really having to look at ourselves in the mirror. And I want you to understand that what you saw as the reception of all those blessings, of all those gifts, of all those beloveds taking time out of their lives, away from their loved ones, away from their own independent growth, away from their own self-meditation, to help us. And on the scale, it was not received in that moment as it should have been. But I'm here to tell you, it will be. It will be. It will be recognized, because we will see how beautiful that was. We were wanting them to shut up. The people that were presenting the monies and the honors and the upgrades and the solutions, you wanted them to shut the hell up just so you could be satisfied with a performance that you don't even understand what it means. How many of you really understood Janelle Monáe's performance and what she chose to show you outside of your judgment of her? That's strength, baby. I salute your strength, sister. I said, keep shining. Keep knocking them on their asses and keep making them look and say, what? We are women. We are strong. But we are also masculine. And I think that's what the sacred masculine forgets, just as he forgets his own femininity, his own divine feminine within. He thinks that they need to compete, that he has to be either or, because that is what he has been taught by a perverted society. But again, beloveds, this was the contrast. And just as in the dinosaur ages till now, we are growing, we are moving forward, we are going towards our future. And we will get there because it is Mama's plan. And human beings cannot, excuse my French, but you cannot fuck it up, okay? You cannot fuck it up. You are right on course. These planets have been aligned, this time has been aligned, it's been prophesied against, not against, but for, towards. And beloveds, it's just time to make it do what it do. It's time for you to know you. It's time for you to really invest in knowing yourself and in being your most authentic self. And forgiving those, finding your ground zero. And the ground zero is not just for you, but it's for humanity. And humanity has to be willing to see itself and know itself as being starting as ground zero. The age of Aquarius is ground zero. It is back to the womb. It is back to the original essence. It is time to evolve, to ascend as beings. We are getting ready to be upgraded molecularly, cellularly. The body is really getting ready to change as the mind and the heart changes. Those hormonal frequencies will change, being aided by the galactic system, biological system. We are made of the same things that the planets and the stars and the stardust and the cosmic dust. We are made of cosmic dust. So all of these things influence us. No matter what galaxy we were seeded from, no matter what planet we originated on, no matter what frequencies exist, each of us is in a human vessel, a vehicle. Each requires the same amount of care, okay? There is no competition. There is no superiority. We all have to go to the bathroom. Our body waste stinks. Yours does not smell like potpourri. I don't care if you are a vegan and you only drink water, or if you only do this and you only do, it still stink, baby, and you still have to go, don't you? So you're differentiating yourself by, oh, this is a lighter vibration, and this is a this, and this, and this, and that's, and that's, and that's, and this, and that. More competition, more contrast, more separation, less allowance. Stop it. Stop it. Stop separating yourself. Light is light. If you want it to shine brighter, make it do so. If it's too much light and you need to dim it down. 4848. Okay. Vision is the Hanged Man card. Vision. And this is a major arcana, beloved. The Hanged Man. Vision, vision, vision. Vision is also known as surrender. And it's on page 88. And baby, that's the Lion's Gate all day long. 88. We just entered that Lion's Gate. Wow. This is a long one. Okay, mama. Vision. Number and meaning 12. Complete immersion. The Hanged Man is the traditional name of this card. Medicine woman energy, the vision quest fulfilled. Affirmation. I surrender to the greater good. The Great Spirit and I are one. The beauty I see, I will bring through me. The card speaks. Receiving the vision of that which is to be my purpose and my work on the earth. I am able to surrender to the greater good. I give up my life of thinking that I am a separate ego that must maintain myself at the expense of others. I am within others. Others are within me. I no longer care so much whether I am understood by others, but whether I understand them. My ego needs align with the great plan. My wants are in harmony with the human longing for perfection. Creating my own small spot of paradise on earth adds to the great creation. There is no longer a conflict. I serve myself and others at the same time. My face is without pain. Though others would have thought that to sacrifice the ego, consciousness of separation, would be to suffer. Instead, my aura glows. There is no strain in this reversal of thinking. I hang from the tree of life, still growing. The horizontal plane of the cross symbolizes my work on the earth. That's that X for self-mastery, beloveds. Let me read that again. The horizontal, I'm okay. Okay. Hanged man, surrender, reflection, mirror, image, speaking to the self, the seen and the unseen. My face is without pain, though others would have thought to sacrifice the ego, consciousness of separateness would be to suffer. Instead, my aura glows. There is no strain in this reversal of thinking. I hang from the tree of life, still growing. The horizontal plane of the cross symbolizes my work on the earth. The vertical plane is my alignment with God. Self-mastery. That X. That X that marks the spot. There is no strain in this reversal of thinking. I hang from the tree of life. I'm not on the tree of good and bad. I done ate and got that shit up out of me. I've been reborn. I am on the tree of life. And I'm hanging upside down. Or am I? Because I finally understand that my roots are up that way, not down this way. The horizontal plane of the cross symbolizes my work on the earth. The vertical, my work on the earth. The vertical plane is my alignment with God. I now look at life with a different perspective than ever before. Ain't that's what I said before I started? Whew. I am able to look with the eyes of God. My individuality is simply a tool, a point of focus for the universal will to good. Life as I once knew it has been turned upside down. The good of the whole is my highest goal. I have looked deep within the waters of consciousness and have been transformed. Self-questioning. As I look at the day just past, did I consider the good of my whole self in my decisions? The good of my whole environment? The good of the whole group? The good of my whole community? or only the good of one small aspect of myself? Sorry, beloved. Exercise. Sit across from a partner, someone you would like to be close to. Relax and look deep into each other's eyes. While the eyes remain still, neither blinking nor moving from side to side. In a few moments, close them. Then imagine yourself going inside the other person's body. Become the person. Look out the other person's eyes, seeing yourself. Now think of yourself as that partner you are within right now. What does it feel like to be in that body? What does she or he need from you? What are her or his hopes or fears? Now come back into your own body. Still, with eyes closed, allow the deeper essence of that person to flow toward you by making a connection of light from your heart, throat, and third eye to a point between the two of you. Just be there, receiving. Begin to open to the Godness. When it feels right, draw all your energies gently back into yourself. Feel your own Godness. Follow the flow. Meditation. Go to your highest space of meditation. From this peak, look down upon the world. What do you see needing to be done? This is your work. Visualization. See yourself as a channel of heavenly gifts. For a time, you hold the gifts, adding your individual energy to them. Then, one by one, you pass them on to others. See the effects of your giving to others. Astrological sign, Neptune. And I've got to drink. I've got to drink. I am so sorry. And just to show you how this contrast, um, excuse me, has been working out all day. I could not make up my mind between coffee or orange juice. Okay? And like I said, this contrast and um, competition thing is just playing itself out in all manners of ways to get your attention, to see what you need to see. And when I asked, Mama, what is this? What is this with this coffee and orange juice? I mean, it's just a decision of what my body wants to drink. And my body couldn't make up its mind which one it wanted. And so I'm like, okay, I'll just get both. And as the need arises, I'll take from whatever my body is calling for. And so, in even understanding this process, like I said, we have to be aware of signs and symbols and the wisdom that we are being given. We're being given things always, always, always. Like I said, who would understand this whole deep ass lesson, okay? And how the coffee and the orange juice just was like, come on, come on, Valerie, come on, come on, connect the dots, babe, come on, come on. And it's like, I like coffee and I like orange juice. Both of them are morning beverages. Both of them have a acidic thing that they do to my pH, you know, and what is this? And then it dawned dawned, golden dawned on me, okay? You do not have to choose. It is not either or. You have them both. All you have to do is pour them in 2 cups, Valerie. And as you need them, the contrast, what each of them has to offer you, it's giving. One is not better than the other. There is no competition. Both are expressions of libations. Both do what they do. And sometimes you need both. Not one or the other, but both. And all of that is okay. And that is also understanding the divine Trinity, beloved. 1, 2, and 3. A, B, and C. Papa Bear, Mama Bear, Baby Bear, and Goldilocks. Okay? It is a never-ending lesson. Okay. Oh my goodness, I know I'm gonna have to make this a couple of videos. Okay. It is what it is. We're already at an hour and 1 minute and 36 seconds. Okay. Surrender. No wonder I was hesitating, right? Know yourself. Surrender. To become the vision received from the greater being, you must surrender to your greater self. In the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears, the greater being is Goldilocks. And she has to make the realization. And she needs to make the realization through the contrasts that are there. And it may look like there's a competition between the Papa Bear and the Mama Bear and the Baby Bear. There is no competition. Each is inside of each other. It's the Trinity. The grace is learning to embrace them all and use the wisdom from each at the time that it is needed. And the separation of the ego, the surrendering of it, the understanding or the understanding that you have been the baby bear, and everything has been about you being just right, just right, just right. Not too cold, not too hot, just right. It's to become the vision received from the greater being, you must surrender to your greater self. You must take the leap of faith, letting go of things on which you have formerly depended. This may include an old self-image, self-doubt, or embarrassment at who you really are. To be able to surrender, finally, and say, you know what? I am tired of dimming myself down. Not going to do it anymore. I'm going to surrender to the greater me. And I am going to be the greater me. I am going to become. I am in becoming mode. Okay? So, judge me if you want to, but I'm doing what I need to do. Are you? Or are you too busy looking at what you consider mistakes in my growth, repatterning, re-knowing, redesigning, reinventing, resurrecting? I do it out loud because that's how I've been led to do it. to show you that if I can do it, so can you. What you take from it is how you receive divine gifts. It speaks for itself, doesn't it? I share mine. And I'm not embarrassed of who I really am. I was taught, don't you be who you really are in this world, Valerie. Because you're different. This world will eat you up. They'll take everything. They'll sell your babies. They'll experiment on you. They'll kidnap you. They'll dissect you. They'll beat you. They'll torture you. And you know how I know that was true? Because I have lived lifetimes and I have memories of it being the truth. But I have grown. I have evolved to this point where I'm saying, I ain't hiding no more. I ain't hiding no more, and I'm not the only one. And we not gonna hide no more. And we not gonna tell our children to hide themselves no more. We are no longer your slaves. Fear is real. But so is my God, baby. So is my God. And you, you ain't got nothing on my mama, okay? You ain't got nothing on my mama. Not a damn thing. And that's all I need to know. And that's all I need to believe. And that's all I need to replay in my head. Every time when that little voice says, don't do it. They gonna see you. See me. See me real good. See me patting my wig. Vibration. Wake up. Wake up. Ancestral. 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 Ain't nothing hoish about it. Know yourself. With and without. This don't make you you. This, this, this don't make you you, baby. This, that's you. That's you. That's where your truth of you is at. And when you know your own heart and your own soul, you're gonna get up. You're gonna get up. It's in you. You can't help yourself. Even when you're tired as hell. And I'm tired. I'm tired. Tired, tired, tired. Tired of the suffering. Tired of witnessing. Tired of feeling it. Tired of being a part of it. Just tired. Tired of it. Um, but it ain't no giving up. It ain't no putting it down. It ain't no walking away from it. You know how I know? Because I'm 53 years old and I've tried. I've tried. I've tried to set it down. I've tried to hide it. I've tried to diminish it. I've tried to ignore it, to deny it, to put others first. Goes right back to where it is. Always does. Always does. And I'm intelligent enough to say, okay, okay, I sit at your feet. You don't sit at mine. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Okay, let me get to it. Okay. You must dive into the unknown. The person who goes into the wilderness on vision quest leaves behind the comforts of her former home. She often refrains from eating or sleeping, and sees no other humans or the things of humans. She is left to view that which comes from within. This inner space reveals itself in outer reality. The inner becomes the world. So you look at me on the outside and you judge. You judge me by the size of my flesh. You judge me by how successful my success is measured in your world. You judge me by the cleanliness of and the standards of your world. But what you don't understand is that my world is not out here. My world is in here. I am Horton and I hear the fucking who's, baby, okay? Don't nobody have to come to me. Valerie, did you know that there are who's? Valerie was born knowing there were who's, okay? She heard them long, long in every lifetime, okay? When I say I live in my head or I'm in my head, that's where I'm at. I'm in my spiritual world, being the I, in this chaos that is the matrix. And I am present for it all because I choose to be. And even when you think I'm checking out and I'm in my cave, baby, that's the cave of wonders. So you can knock it all you want, but I know what lies within. I know what treasures lies within. I bathe in them treasures. I sleep in them treasures. I value them. Often at first, a level of fears is manifest. The ego, which I like to call the personality self, lets you know just what would devour it. It is up to you to let it be devoured. In the process, you will come to realize that it is you the greater self, who devours it. So you wrote these contracts a long time ago to get where you needed to be, to do what you needed to do. There is no blame. There is no deva. There are only contracts and life lessons that you already agreed to long ago. Only fear now prevents you from remembering that contract. And as you have free will, you can choose to fulfill it in this moment or not. But it is a contract, and you will fulfill it. One of these lifetimes, baby, in one of these verses, you're going to fulfill it because it is your song to sing to the universe. Okay? All right. The vision, hanged man, is different from the seed or the fool, in that the fool steps blindly forward on a hunch or a feeling, often not realizing what she is leaving behind. Whereas the hangman, questing for vision purposefully, lets go of the known for what she or he sees ahead as her destiny or his destiny, her, H-I-R, him and her together, her, H-I-R. The fool might ask you every day to step forward, take a risk, plant a seed. The vision card is just to remind you of the one turnabout that must occur. Your life, at some point, must be given to the ultimate being consciousness, bliss that resides beyond the mind and its busyness. Your daily actions may continue, but the quest is no longer for direct results from those actions. You are simply allowing a greater force to work through you, as it surely will when you have surrendered. It is a force that was always within you but hidden by the personality's goals. The personality remains, but it is now doing God's work rather than its own. Vision asks you not to give up you, but to become more than you. The one self that animates all life. You can seek vision and prepare for vision, but you cannot force it to come. It is a gift. When you receive it, it will turn your life upside down, as if diving from a cliff. As if diving from a cliff for the first time. You cannot know what complete immersion is like until you are fully in the water. Other than, only then can you swim. Only then can you act in accordance with the new element that surrounds you. Surrender is not death, but action within a new environment of higher consciousness. It is not giving up the personality of self to another human's will. This is a very important distinction. The meaning of the vision card is an inner experience of God as complete motivation of the self. It is not a surrender to any other human being. The personality will still function quite strongly, able to stand up for itself in the world, perhaps even more than ever before. The vision is the prime mover or energy source that will prompt all future actions and guide your way for the rest of your life. The vision card will come up again and again, only for you to further fine tune your carrying out of the original vision given to you by the Great Spirit. It will not change your basic vision. This card focuses your life within God's perfect plan. Pay attention to what you know you are on earth to do. And that is that card, beloveds. And I am going to um in this video on this note and come back with um the rest, simply because I don't want it to be um a breakdown. And in starting to watch videos myself, I am others' videos and my own. I'm learning that sometimes it may be too much information for some. So I am what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this short, make this one just as long as it is, and do the next one as another increment um, to it. So it is what it is, and you can enjoy it how you need to enjoy it, beloveds. Um, yeah, that's it for me on this video. And beloveds, the three words in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God. That is the identification of self, the all-knowing, the all-being, the all-seeing. That was the Word. The words contrast, contemplation, not contemplate. Okay, mama. I'm just gonna let you float it out my mouth and I'm gonna shut the hell up. Contrast, competition, confrontation, comfortableness. You in the seas, huh, mama? Circle, circumference, cycles, cylinders, celestial. Celestial. And I'm going to end on that. 123:16. And I will be starting the next video as soon as this one is uploaded.